Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taya and this is Papagaio, my jungle core island. We are starting to plan out some of the structure of our island. The entrance kind of ends off on the right hand side here, and as you can see, I've started to use this circular pathway to come up towards here, and then it actually loops back and you're back into the kind of entrance area, the end of the entrance area, as well as resident services. And I want to create between Able Sisters and Nook's Cranny a sort of jungle market where they can have like their imports and exports kind of area. Maybe some of the villagers have special products that they develop, sort of jungly farms around the island that the different villagers can be in charge of. So we have our shopping district area, which is going to start here with Nook's Cranny. We're going to save the peninsula for another build, but I do want to have this be like a docking, like a shipping yard where they can have their exports, their imports and exports coming in, and kind of a safe harbor where they can do all of that. But we're going to build Nook's Cranny a small cafe out in front, little jungle cafe, especially since it's very near the airport. People can come off, can get a little bit of a jungle refreshment, coffee, what have you, coconut juice, if you will. And then they can do their shopping. They can go to Nook's Cranny, they can go to the market, they can go to Able Sisters. It's gonna be beautiful. So let's begin. So first thing is first, I want to have a small space in front of Nook's Cranny where I can have like boxes and barrels and all of that kind of like shipping, receiving type of thing. And then I want to have an area marked out for the cafe. So I am just simply creating these two blocks of in-game pathing so I can roughly approximate where everything is going to go. I thought I would use the terracotta to start, but I ended up using dirt pathing, but it doesn't really matter because all of this pathing will be covered eventually. I like the way it looks on the map, and also just helps me mentally prepare for the build when I'm putting down this first pathing. It's hard for me to start with like a blank slate. And then because I'm incredibly distracted, I decided to complete my round circle stones, my stepping stones. So I did exactly what I did on my entrance as well, and it probably will be a theme throughout this main kind of village center area, at least, these stepping stone pathways. And all I'm doing is alternating between two different custom designs that I have. One is like an arch tile that I'm doing now, and the other one that I did before is like that round kind of almost tribal looking circular stones. And just to add some detail around the main pathway area and to kind of build it out a little bit, I'm adding these mossy stone pavers. All of the links to any of the codes that you see will be in the description box of this video. I really like this mossy stone that I found, and I thought I wanted to use it on this area in front of Nook's Cranny for a little bit. And I'm just testing out which pattern I like the best, but I ended up kind of liking a mismatched look. And it kind of just looks like it's worn down. I don't know if you've ever been to like Europe or somewhere where they've had multiple different tiles put down at different times over the years, and then like one tile will pop up of the new tile and it will reveal like there was another pattern underneath there. And I always love that look when you like go into a building and it's like all these mismatched tiles. It just creates like a really cool vibe. So that happened by accident, but I'm really happy that it did. And I'm going to create a wood plank underneath the cafe. And I'm trying to also plan out where I'm going to be putting my tiki torches and trying to stagger them a little bit so they don't look too repetitive, just to give enough light to make this seem like this is the habited area of the island where a lot of people are gathering. I want it to feel lively. This is like the commercial center of Papagaio. This is like, I just had this idea while I was editing here, But it's as if you're setting out on a journey into the jungle. This would be your landing spot where you can like gather your supplies, everything that you're going to need to go into the jungle to have an adventure. So with that context, it kind of makes sense that there's a nice cafe here. Also, if there are people who are coming on large ships to deliver goods to Papagaio, then they would maybe want to stop off and have a little rest stop at the cafe here before they head back out into the ocean journey back to the mainland. I am getting deep into the lore already and I love it. I've never quite done this with another island, and I'm loving the like fictional plot line thing that you can come up with in your head. It makes it so fun to build this island. I find starting with the pathing and then defining the areas with fencing, going into trees and flowers really gives me like a good sense of where I want greenery to be in the builds, and the fences definitely help to define the spaces too. So getting the fences and all of this greenery and all the custom designs down helped me so much, because then when I went to go and put the items into the actual cafe, it takes like 5 minutes. I'm just done. I know exactly where I want things to be and go. And I don't know, I think that it's a good tip that I'm going to try to use for myself, is to just focus on getting the foliage around and the trees and the colors of the flowers correct, the flow of the pathing through the areas, and then go in with the actual decorative items, or like in my case this time, the cafe items, like the tables and chairs kind of thing, after I've already got that structure pretty well defined. I used so many trees in this build, I cannot explain to you. I have like no coconut trees or bamboo trees left. I have to go and like farm some more so that I'll have them for the next builds, or I'm gonna have to start actually getting good at just planting down trees and imagining what they'll look like when they're grown in, because I'm gonna run out of space to store all the trees that I'm going to need on this island. And now I understand why some people, they just plant the trees while they're doing the speed build, because I would never be able to have all of these trees on my island at once. It's insane. Also like so much fruit to just dig them up and change them around. But we're starting on that cafe. I decided to customize this stall with, it's actually a blanket design, but I think it's going to be a very, very versatile set of custom designs. It's been really, I used it also behind there in Nook's Cranny as one of the tiles, because the middle one kind of looks like it could be a kind of worn down old tile. But it looks great. The bottom one that has a little bit of the fringe looks amazing on the stall, so that worked out really nicely. We've got a espresso maker there, and now I'm just trying to plan out some of the seating. I really wanted it to be a slightly mismatched seating seating area, but not too mismatched. At the beginning, I thought I was gonna go crazy with all these different kinds of seating, and I ended up keeping it pretty simple in the end. The same thing kind of happened with the food items that I wanted to have here. I kept trying to incorporate the Olivier salad, that New Year's kind of, it looks weird. I'm not really a big fan of it, but I cut out a couple of different item tries where I was putting in that salad everywhere and it just was not working. So we went very simply with like the steamer basket on the table and the coconut juice and the coffee, which I grab another coffee cup for that other table on the side there. And we're going in with bug models already. So that's really adding a lot to Papagaio. And we found some of those little toy cockroach, toy centipede items for in the cafe so that it just looks a little rough around the edges, so that it just feels like you're in an outdoor cafe in the jungle. There's going to be some bugs. One style of pathing that I always did on Cranny was that I would have these planks and I would have the in-game pathing underneath and it would look broken. But because there is no transparent pixel on the middle plank in this particular design, it doesn't work that way. But I did want to break up just the sameness of this wood plank, so I ended up continuing the same design that I used on the stall onto the ground, which I'm not quite sure altogether if that exactly worked for me. But I think the feeling is nice. I think it has a nice look and feel. So there's just some finishing details here and we will be into the final reveal. Galas looking at the cockroach. It's all part of the ambiance. Did you see her little ears flip? That was so cute. From the entrance to the right, we just had time today to do this cafe. I might end up changing out these two bamboo trees for like a stunted bamboo tree, because I think if they're stunted, then you can see more to Nook's Cranny and I can put like boxes around. But I love the feeling that it creates in this cafe, and I love how you can see Nook's Cranny in the back. So unfortunately tomorrow Nook's Cranny will be upgrading to the full-size Nook's Cranny. But if I don't necessarily like the front of it, I will just pop down another tree right here and we will cover it up as best we can. I'm trying to make this island look kind of like rough around the edges, but adding like this kind of bright, happy coconut juice situation might not be the most hardcore thing ever. But you know what? Even the baddies gotta stop and take some coffee every once in a while. Even they gotta come and have a little chill spot to hang out, because they're working hard. And this is supposed to be the tamer village area anyways, so we haven't gotten into the hardcore jungle quite yet. I can't wait, everybody. If you aren't subscribed already and you did enjoy today's video, please subscribe down below. I do post Animal Crossing content 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern if you're interested in that. I will see you all in the next one. Bye!